Hello YouTube, this is Michael B. the Game Genie, and this is a very special episode of game pickups from the new adventure... Alright, so it's game pickups from eBay. Alright guys, so this is going to be a very quick episode. I picked up only 3 items in this episode, and this was 3 items before I left to go on my summer vacation, but I just wanted to show you what I got. And I assure you, they're all awesome.
Genesis does. Genesis does. Genesis does. Genesis does. Genesis.
The first of which are 2 games for the Sega Genesis. And 2 games for the Sega Genesis that I've been looking for an extremely long time. The first one is Ghostbusters on the Sega Genesis, which is an incredible game. I'm sure most of you watched the Angry Video Game Nerd video where he talks about all the terrible Ghostbuster games he played, but the Genesis game is actually really good. So you can watch his video, or you can watch another great YouTuber, Kit171, who did a Let's Play of this a long time ago. It's actually an incredible game, really fun, and not so easy to come by. I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't get this cheap. I think I paid $20 for this off eBay. Shipping handling was something like $5-6. But anyways, extremely excited to add this great game to my collection, and I haven't stopped playing it ever since. The next one is an extremely rare Sega Genesis game. I don't think it's rare because it was an extremely hard game to come by, just because of real-life circumstances. But it's a game that I've always wanted, and I absolutely love. I'll take you back to a little video game nostalgia here. When I was a kid, we moved from a town in Newfoundland called Mount Pearl to a town called Paradise. And when I first moved there, I didn't really have a lot of friends. I didn't know a whole lot of people other than the other people on the road. So my mom was great, and she used to give me sometimes a great allowance on the weekends. She'd give me $20 to basically spend for the weekend, which is a lot back then. You think about it, it was probably around 1991. So that's a lot for an 11-year-old kid to have. So I used to get on my bike, and I'd ride my bike for about 15-20 minutes down to the Red Circle Convenience, and I'd rent the 16-bit glory Sega Genesis, and I'd always rent 2 games. Now the other game was always Streets of Rage, or I'd rent Sonic the Hedgehog, or I'd rent this really cool Spider-Man game. But there was one game I always rented with it, and I'm so excited that I finally added that game to my collection. And that is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on the Sega Genesis. Man, oh man, am I excited to get this. I picked it up for around $38, plus around $5 shipping and handling, and I know that probably seems like a lot. A lot of people are saying, oh, you didn't buy it at a thrift store for $1. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't get it at a thrift store. If you've been watching the show, this is Newfoundland. It's not very easy to pick up games sometimes, and this is one I really, really, really wanted. So, I picked up Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. It comes with the case of the game, and the instruction manual complete, and I am so excited to actually have this in my collection. I'm not going to lie to you, the case was actually pretty beat up when I got it, so I exchanged it for one of the extra cases that I got off the video game seller out there. So now I have a complete and beautiful copy of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on the Sega Genesis, and man oh man do I enjoy this game for some reason.
2 words describe a phenomenon that has arrived upon the scene like a force of nature. Turbo Duo Power.
Last but not least is something that I've pretty much been looking for the entirety of my time since I've started collecting again back last September, October. As most of you know, I'm a huge TurboGrafx 16 fan. So much so that I've already collected over 1/3 of the games, which might not seem like that big a deal. Like most people have over 1/3 of the NES games they're collecting right now, but the TurboGrafx, if you go on eBay.ca, or if you even look for it in the wild, it's not so common to come by, so it's a big deal for me. And I have the system complete in box, which I'm really excited about. But there's a North American system related to the TurboGrafx that's even a little bit more rare and a little bit more expensive. And I've always gone on eBay looking for one, and I've never found one at a price reasonable that I wanted to pick up. Of course, like any other system I have, I want to get a complete box, but it's looking like the price has gone up so much now, that's a little unrealistic. I'm going to be honest with you, around last Christmas, I could have got one for around $550 complete with Castlevania Dracula X. I really messed up not getting that, because now you're looking at getting the system probably somewhere around $700–800 complete in box, which is absolutely crazy, and I'm never going to pay that much. I don't even want to pay $500. But nevertheless, I was relentless with my search for Turbo Duo. I'm going to be honest with you, the first thing I do when I go on eBay is type in Turbo Duo. But unfortunately, I've never been able to find one. That is until recently. I came across a Turbo Duo that not a lot of people were bidding on. I made a very low introductory bid for a Turbo Duo, and I held that bid for the better part of a week, until roughly around 35 minutes before the auction ended, somebody outbid me. So I made my second bid with roughly around 2 seconds left, and lo and behold, I'm the proud owner of what's in this box. What could it be? Oh yeah, Michael B. the Game Genie finally has his Turbo Duo. And you notice right there the black little button? A North American Turbo Duo. I can't tell you how excited about it. I can't tell you how excited I am to actually finally be able to play TurboGrafx CD games. Now I know a lot of people are going to tell me, oh, a lot of the TurboGrafx CD games are terrible. I don't care. I love the TurboGrafx and everything about it. And I'm so excited to be able to play some of the great shooters on the CD system, such as the packing game, Gate of Thunder! I can't wait. Let's plug this thing in and play it. Time to play some Turbo Duo!
Ooga bunk. Daba duba. Ooga mooga. Gate of Thunder.
That's weird. Not a lot of fanfare there. Anyways, let's turn on Gate of Thunder. Wow, very odd choice. That Gate of Thunder wouldn't have any music in the opening screen or no music during the gameplay. Wait a minute. That's not how I remember Gate of Thunder. Gate of Thunder actually has a pretty amazing opening. Let me show you what I'm talking about. That's right, guys. Unfortunately, I ran into a bit of bad luck. This is one of the Turbo Duos where the audio capacitors for the CD audio sound had burned out. Now, I never would have bid on this unless I asked ahead of time, and I did ask the seller, is there any problem with the audio? And to which he replied no. And I'm going to be honest with you, the seller seems like a really nice guy, and I've had some phone conversations with him, and he's pretty on the ball, and he told me the truth. He plugged in a turbo chip game, and the sound worked perfectly, which is usually the case. Of course, I got it home, I plugged it in, the sound was hit or miss. It didn't work at all when I first got it. Sometimes it would cut in. Then after about 2 days, it cut out completely. It just wouldn't play. So, I'm in a situation now where I bought this thing off eBay. I paid $300 for it, plus shipping and handling. Then, unfortunately, plus a $50 customs charge. So, I'm up around $400, which is way more than I would normally pay for a system. But this was supposed to be my last big expense before I sent my wife to law school, and I didn't have any money. So I contacted the seller, and I told him the situation. I said, listen, if I send this back to you, I'm going to be out $100. I just really want to get it fixed. I really want to have a Turbo Duo. So he was kind enough. He said, sure, let's do a partial refund. We agreed to $150. I'm still waiting on it, but he's a pretty reliable guy, so I expect I'll get it any day now. Needless to say, I'm going to have to fix my Turbo Duo. So, as excited as I am to actually physically have the system here, I'm still going to have to wait. Now, I could probably just go out and buy some capacitor pieces and then rip this thing apart and try to fix it, but I'm not exactly technological savvy. So, I'm looking for somebody that can possibly fix this for me. So, if anybody here on YouTube can tell me of anybody that's possibly able to fix a Turbo Duo for me, just let me know how much you want to do it, let me know how we'll go about shipping, and, you know, send me a PM. Anyways, guys, those are my 3 amazing eBay pickups I picked up before I went on my trip. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time. I really wish this goddamn thing worked. I am so heartbroken about that. What do you do?